Hi there everybody, it's Rody here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you for joining me again today for another card making tutorial. I'm going to be showing you how to make variations of these cards today. So we're using the 2021 in colours here. So we've got Fresh Free Shirt and Pale Papaya featuring on both of those, with the two greens there, with the Soft Succulent and the Evening Evergreen. Okay, and I just brought in a few sequins. These are the Artistry Bloom sequins that are in the annual catalogue. So everything's in the annual catalogue, I think, yeah. And the inspiration for this particular card was because I had these scraps of this lovely gingham paper. This is from Pansy Petals, and it was just some offcuts, and I'd left those gingham pieces on my desk, and they were just sort of sitting there, and I'm like, oh, I really should use those because they are so pretty. So that's how these came about, and I thought I'd use Art Gallery as a nice floral set, just to you know, just, I don't know, keep things fresh and use some stuff in the annual catalogue as well. There's loads of Christmas stuff around at the moment, I felt like, but I just wanted to take a break from Christmas really, but there'll be Christmas coming later in the week. So that's what we're doing. And so the other colour of paper that I had knocking about was the soft succulent version. Whoops, just knocked everything over. So as with sorry, this is the Art Gallery, I left it out there, and it's got these lovely coordinating dies with it as well, so all in the annual catalogue. Was soft succulent, this paper, okay, which I've actually cut to 3x3 and just cut some basic white to go around it. Got a little scrap of white there just to do my stamping on, and like with the others, I have cut a coordinating soft succulent card base. Okay, so I'm going to do stuff with that in a minute, because what I want to do is get stamping done. I've already done my leaves so that you just didn't have to see me cut those. The bloom itself is a two-step stamp. Okay, so we've got a more solid stamp here, and then we've got some sort of detail on this one. Okay, so there's a few schools of thought in terms of whether you stamp the background or the top layer first. I'm going to go with the more solid layer and put that down, and I want to get that down so that it dries, because when we're doing the two-step stamping with tone on tone colour, if you allow this layer to dry completely, you'll get more definition on the detail. So I'm just cleaning my stamp while I'm yabbering to you. Just like to, particularly with pink ink, I like to try and get it off as soon as I can. So I'm just going to allow that to dry for a minute, but whilst that's there, I'm going to bring in my best wishes, and on all the cards I've used soft succulent to stamp that. So we'll just bring in the soft succulent ink pad and just drop that in there, and we can die cut that with the matching die from the set when we're ready. So if we just come back to this while that's completely drying, just some simple layering here now with some Stampin' Seal. So we can just put those on top of each other like so. And I've just had a thought halfway through. I've used soft succulent ribbon on the other cards, sort of to tie in with the other detail, but I think this one might look better if I bring in the polished pink one. I don't know. Let's have a look, shall we? What do we think? Shall we use the polished pink or the soft succulent? Because that's all going to blend back, and then we're going to have the pop of the pink on there. Ooh, that's a bit of a decision, isn't it? I might stick with the soft succulent, but there's an option there that you could have swapped that ribbon out for the coordinating colour. Just wonder whether sometimes it's a bit matchy if you have everything coordinating the same way, but you know, it's your card. You choose the colours that you want. So I'm going to cut a length of that to wrap around this little panel. So I'm just going to use some seal on the back just to allow me to anchor that around the back, somewhere around there. And because you've got the straight pattern, it'll be easy to make sure that that's lined up. And then we can, this is going to run out soon. You can see that red sort of tape is sort of starting to show, so that's getting to the end, that is. I'm going to place this on the card, and I'm going to use a ruler to help me just get that lined up. So I'm just going to use this as a guide so that I can get it even, or as even as I can, around there. So that makes that nice and pretty. Okay, and what we also need is a bow. Now I'm keeping that attached to the reel because it means you can cut off your tail where you need it and not waste excess ribbon, although I have started the bow quite far down, so I've got quite a long tail in my left hand right now. So that's just the bunny ear method that I've used there. We don't want the tails too long. I'm going to cut those here and here. So it might still need a bit of a trim, but they're ready to go. And of course you can just sort of manipulate that a bit. It's a very soft ribbon. It's going to sort of want to sort of twist and bend a little bit with the under the pressure of the knot there. Okay, so that's what we've got so far, and our leaves are ready. So let's go back to this and our polished pink ink pad, which I've put underneath everything because of course that's what happens in your craft room. Okay, so we're going to get as over the top of that and just look through. I find that bump at the top is quite a good place to land. Do you know what? If it's not quite there and it's a little bit off, the nature of the image really is quite forgiving, so don't stress if it is just a little teeny tiny bit off. But I'm hoping that you can see now that the contrast between those two layers is actually quite nice. And if I'd have gone straight in with the wet onto the wet ink, it would have just sort of blended in and wouldn't have been quite so obvious. So we can die cut these now. So I'm going to position the coordinating dies over the top of the image. Okay, again that top petal is probably the best gauge, sort of this one and this one, of whether it's lined up appropriately or not. And then we've got these cute little, it cuts like a postage stamp edge around the sentiments. There's this small one and there's a slightly larger one in the die set, which is cool. And then we'll just use our Stampin' Cut and Emboss, which is just off here to the right of me. So I keep it on my desk so I can just have it and run with it and use my die cut machine all the time, because I love my die cut machine, absolutely love it. It's really smooth, cuts like brilliantly. I mean, look at it, it's beautiful, no thready bits, no nothing, absolutely fantastic. And then I'm using mini dimensionals on the back of these because that's super skinny there. Look, we've got a bit more, some detail on these leaves, so probably about 3 on there. And then rather than switch them out, we may as well just use the minis for these. And I sort of found that 4 or maybe 5, just like that. It's plenty. Don't use a lot of those, so it's fine. Just get them used. So what I'm going to do is position my sentiment first, okay? Because I do like it just sort of overhanging these borders a little bit. It's just something I do, and I don't know where the idea came from. I don't know. I just started doing it, and it seems to, well, I think it looks really attractive because I think it draws your eye to the bit that's sticking out from the frame, if you like. So that's a mini glue dot going on the back of the bow. So mini glue dots are excellent for this kind of thing. And I want to tuck that leading tail underneath there so we can still read our sentiment. Like I say, this is going to potentially misbehave, so if you think it's going to misbehave, you can glue dot it down. Where did I put that poker tool that I've just had in my hand? There it is. The wonders of disappearing items on a craft desk. So I'm just going to press a glue dot underneath there to offer some persuasion to that little bit of ribbon that's just not quite misbehaving. And again, if I cut this tail to extend beyond that frame, it'll just, preferably the right length of the other one. There we go, that's better. That serves that purpose. And then we're going to position the stem to make sure that fits on, and then the bloom itself will just be able to manipulate how we want. So again, the leaf's going to be sticking out on the side there, and so too will the flower head. It'll be probably over the top and the side with just that gingham poking through. Oh, that's good, isn't it? Look at the impact that colour has. It's a brilliant colour, isn't it? Polished pink, I just love it. If memory serves, there is some polished pink gingham in that same paper pad. So if you were looking to do the sort of the colour coordinated gingham and background card, do beg your pardon, still getting over the last bits of a cold. So sometimes a little cough just sort of takes me by surprise. So if you were looking for a to do a fully sort of coordinated card like this, you could. That's if memory serves me correctly. Just realised I've forgotten to add my little sequins. So these are, like I say, these are the artistry bloom ones, and you get sort of, there's 4 sheets. I don't think they're particularly any colours, as in Stampin' Up colours. But they're sort of peachy ones, and they're sort of pinky ones, and purpley ones, so I thought they'd do okay. And I'm just using the small ones to create my sort of little trio of gems there. Again, another trick to just sort of centre your eyes. It's all this sort of your brain wants to create patterns and things and draw your vision in. So there we go. I like that one. I really think that having all those muted colours and that pop of colour is really, really cool. It'd be interesting to see if that would work with the other colours actually. But there you go. So a couple of ideas there, whether you wanted to, like I say, go all matchy or have that contrasting colour. Either way, that worked out really, really well. That's with the Art Gallery stamp set and coordinating dies, and this was the Pansy Petals Designer Series paper. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for joining me. Links in the description to the stuff I've used today. Do pop along and check it out. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Stay safe. Bye.